Hello, New Wave of British Heavy Metal.com here. Today it's the 13th of February 2023. As usual, if I could start by asking if you would please subscribe to the channel, that'd be marvellous. Appreciated. Every subscriber helps, so please do click that button if you would. Now, I've been listening to an awful lot of prog lately and just discovered this one, so I thought I'd talk about it today. The band is the Tirith, and their recent album, I think it came out at the back end of last year, Return of the Lydia. Now, I'd not heard of the Tirith before this, and I took a flyer on it after hearing the title track, which is quite remarkable, and did a little bit of digging around. Anyway, apparently they go all the way back to the early 1970s, when they first formed, and were then known as Minas Tirith. Of course, after the city in Lord of the Rings and Tolkien and all that stuff. Didn't last long back then, and I believe that they split up after a couple of years without any recorded output back then. However, the universe got them back together again around about 2010. They dropped Minas and just now are the Tirith. And Return of the Lydia is their third album. And it really is an excellent chunk of very well composed and performed sort of neo-classical prog rock with a fair bit of classic rock in there, lots of lovely melodies, atmospheric stuff throughout. I'm really enjoying it. It starts with a 12-minute epic, which is the title track. Spectacular song somewhere. It's a bit of a running theme. This continues a running theme that's been going on since their first album, and it's based around a sci-fi related tale somewhere between 2001: A Space Odyssey and Odyssey, and sort of a Lost in Space-ish angle to it. It's split into three parts, and it begins with a sort of a chilled out, laid back, ethereal opening third. Then the middle bit comes the big explosion, lots of strong riffs, wonderful guitar solo as it rocks along. And, it's asking of all things, what do you say to an alien? Well, according to the tongue-in-cheek lyrics, you say things like, hello, my name is Mike and I've come to take your world. But anyway, there we go. So now you know if you're in that position. But but they don't take the world. Instead, they decide to tootle off to Beetlejuice. Well, as you do, don't you? But it really is that middle section fantastic, particularly the guitar solo, really special stuff. And then after that, it kind of reverts back to the opening third style of that atmospheric, ethereal stuff, and the lyrics suggesting that the story isn't over. So maybe we got more albums to come. So after that opening, they've got quite something to follow, and they do manage it. The rest of the album is mainly of longish songs. There are a couple of shorter ones, particularly the quite heavy Go the Drifter, which is a really chunky rocker and reminds me of something that Rush might have done, say, on Clockwork Angels, for example. Another highlight is a song called Crystal Well, and for me this is right up there in scope and scale with the title track. Lyrics are based around a poem by a guy called Robert Southey called The Well of St. Keen. And St. Keen, a small village in Cornwall with a well in it. And it's said that, so the tale goes, that if a married couple both drink from the well, the one who drinks first, as the cliche goes, wears the trousers. But it's such a fantastic song that the composition and flow of it builds in a sort of a folky, mystical slant as it meanders along very nicely. The momentum ebbs and flows, nice catchy melodic chorus, and another very, very fine, sort of like evocative guitar solo that's full of tone and feel. Marvellous stuff. The uncertainty principle adds some more variation into things, going somewhere around a sort of a prog-tinged melodic rock style before another nice long piece to close it out in the meeting of the ways. Full of changes, acoustic start, some keys in there, broods along into a full-on prog rock bombast mid track, and the instrumental piece before the big finish. Marvellous stuff. Overall, here on Return of the Lydia, the Tirith have done an excellent job mixing in proggy stuff with the heavier stuff, and it sometimes it doesn't take itself too seriously either, which I like. Indeed, so impressed I am with Return of the Lydia that I went straight back to the Tirith Bandcamp page to order their first two albums, Tales from the Tower and A Leap in the Dark, and they're all both top-notch albums as well. Very, very good. All three are available from their Bandcamp page at quite a reasonable price as well. And of course, with it being Bandcamp, you've got download streaming stuff as well if you don't prefer a CD. So I'll put a link to the Tirith Bandcamp page below in the description, so you can go and have a look and you can listen to some stuff there as well. Really is excellent sort of like modern prog with a 70s slant to it. So do that, check it out. Please subscribe to the channel before you go, that would be marvellous. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and take care.